Winning cures everything. Now for your hosts, Gary and Chris.
Welcome in Friday, February 11th edition of the show. Winning cures everything. I'm Gary.
I'm Chris.
And Chris, we have got so much to discuss. We are finally giving out Super Bowl picks. We have a lot to talk about today. There's still craziness happening on the plains at Auburn. The SEC coaches meeting was in Birmingham on Thursday. We've got some fun stories to talk about towards the end of the show. In the off-season, even though there is really no off-season, we like to hit on some of these news of the weird stories, and I've got a couple of good ones for Chris today. But let's go on and start off with this. We're going to start off with the meat. We're going to get into this. We're going to talk about Super Bowl picks. So let's dive into it, Chris. The Cincinnati Bengals taking on the Los Angeles Rams and pulling up the most recent odds here. It is juiced at minus 110 on both sides. The Rams are a 4-point favorite, total of 48.5. Let me get you started on it. Which direction are you going?
Well, I'm going with the Bengals. I'm riding with Joe Burrow, and I've been given no reason to doubt him. So far this year, they are they are undefeated in games where they are underdogs of 3 or more points.
Which is unbelievable, right? I mean, that's just a ridiculous stat. I'm doing the same thing. I'm taking the Bengals here. I think this seems like it would be a field goal game, and all of the Bengals playoff games, other than the one against the Raiders, have been field goal games. So, and they've won them. So I'm not necessarily going to go with the money line, but if you wanted to, it's plus 170 on that. But if I got 4 points here, and I think that this spread should be closer to 3, or maybe a little less, I'm going to ride with the Bengals as well. This team has been really good, not just in the playoffs, but throughout the season. And while the Rams have been really good over in the NFC, I think the Bengals went through a tougher schedule than the Rams. Even though the Rams had to go through the 49ers and the Cardinals and da-da-da-da, I think that what Cincy had to face for the entire season was just a little bit more difficult. I think they're a better, more well-rounded team, and they're not as sloppy, right? We've talked about that with the Rams multiple times. This team just makes mistakes frequently. And then there's also something, Chris, about these quarterbacks named Joe in the Super Bowl, right? Joe Flacco, Joe Namath. I mean, it just goes on and on. I mean, I'm all over it. Joe Montana, by the way. I think I'm riding with the Bengals plus the 4 here. Do you like anything on the total?
Yeah, I like it. I like the under. You're missing Joe Theismann. That's all.
Oh yeah, Joe Theismann. That's right.
So, no, I don't. I'm going to go with the under. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. It would not surprise me if this is a 12 to 17 ball game.
I could totally see that. So that does make sense for sure. We both like the Bengals plus 4 on this. That was a pretty quick and easy breakdown. I think I would go the same way. For under 48.5, it seems to make sense. It opened at 49.5, 50 in some places, and it's been bet down. And I think that's a smart play, right? I don't expect a lot of fireworks here. I expect good, disciplined defensive football. I don't think we're going to see a ton of. I don't think we're going to see a ton of playmakers. I think the game would have been completely different if it was the Rams against the Chiefs. But with the Bengals, I think they play it a little bit differently. Let's talk about some of these prop bets. Before we get into it, do you have any off the top of your head that you have really liked thus far, or should we just go through some of the bigger ones?
Well, no. So the two that I like, and the two that I'm gonna play definitely is last play of the game, quarterback kneel down. Yes, is minus 230. No, it's plus 165. I will take the no on that. And then I will take, will there be a scoreless quarter any point in the game? Yes, it's plus 275. That's wild to me. No is minus 450. I love the yes. I love the yes because I think it's going to be a lower scoring game, which means we're not getting points all 4 quarters. I just think we're going to have a span of 15 minutes where nobody scores.
I could see that. I could totally see
it's that. It's the 275 that draws me to that, by the way.
Oh yeah. Oh, 100%. 100%. Looking at some of these main props here, I honestly don't have a ton that I am really into. The first offensive play of the game, a run is minus 150, a pass is plus 120. Both of these teams like to play ahead of the chains. I think I might be willing to go with a pass at plus 120 because you like to get ahead of the sticks a little bit, right? Like, would that see? I mean, it just seems like those odds are off to me. What do you think?
I mean, I don't know. I don't have any opinions on that one. That's why it's not one of my bets. So,
race to 20 points for neither team is plus 750. Race to 25 points for neither team is plus 200. See, those would be two that I would strongly consider as well. In the the 20-point one, like I said, that's a probable thing, but it's not it's a possible thing. It's not maybe not a probable thing, but that's why you get plus 700. That's why you get 7-1 odds. Yeah, plus 750 is bananas. For the Bengals to get to 20 points before the Rams, it would be plus 190. And I could definitely see that happening. Looking at some of these other ones, the team to win the coin toss. Who cares? Whatever. Will the coin toss caller be correct? There is one that is minus 105 right now. That is, so it's the coin toss winner wins the game or the coin toss winner loses the game. And I don't know if you've seen this, but the last 7 Super Bowls in a row, the team that won the coin toss lost the game. So it's minus 105 on both sides.
Yeah, I think it has nothing to do with the outcome of the game, and that is just one of those random things where sometimes the roulette wheel lands on black 7 times in a row.
Oh, it's all novelty stuff, my friend. Novelty stuff.
It does not know that. So I did hear an analyst try to break this down. Their argument was almost everybody, and here's the problem. They didn't go back and research this, but almost everybody defers if they win the coin toss because that's where you've got the advantage.
Yeah.
And all of those people basically possibly got off to a slow start. But I don't think that has anything to do with it because if you look at the one that comes to my mind is the Patriots-Rams game where nobody got off to a hot start. Nobody got off to a slow start. Like, it was just a slow, low-scoring game. The other team that lost the coin toss didn't get out with points early.
Yeah. No, you're right.
I just don't think they have anything to do with one another.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. So there's a ton on the entertainment aspect of it. Super Bowl halftime show, which song will Eminem perform first? So there's Lose Yourself, My Name Is, The Real Slim Shady, and then Without Me and Stan. All of them are plus 200 or better, which means at this point there's value on any of them. But I don't know how anybody would know what it is because it seems that there is no favorite, which means that nobody out there has seen exactly what he's going to do, or at least hasn't made it known publicly. I mean, they've got all kind of stuff on this. Will any part of Eminem's performance be censored? Yes is minus 175. You think they're going to be censoring stuff in the halftime show?
I don't know the answer to that, and I'm curious. I didn't look at any of the novelty props because I usually just don't care. I enjoyed this game, but I don't care about betting on those things. Why are they all Eminem?
So,
are they not any Snoop Dogg stuff? Are they not any Dre stuff?
No, there's nothing for Dre, nothing for Snoop.
Well, Dr. Dre is the lead guy.
Yeah, but it's
it's his Super Bowl.
Agreed.
These other guys are his guests. So why are we doing so many novelty bets about his guest and not about the head guy?
I think you know what? I have no idea. These are all over at BetUS.com, by the way. I think Eminem is a bigger name, just overall
There's
nationally.
zero chance Eminem's a bigger name than Snoop. Okay, and he might be today a bigger name than Dr. Dre, but throughout the pantheon of the people that are going to watch this thing, which are all our age guys, there's no chance. There's no chance he's a bigger name than ours. So yes, for kids, he's a bigger name. But and I use the word kids as 18-year-olds, 20-year-olds.
The odds are, by the way,
there's no way guys that are 35 to 55 that Eminem's a bigger name than Dr. Dre.
I might tend to agree with you. The odds are, according to BetUS and several other books out there, but obviously we're a BetUS sponsored podcast. Eminem is favored to be the last artist to come out. So typically,
that makes sense. He's the last guy, but he's the last guy because he's the least important of the first two.
And so it's the first one is Mary J. Blige, then Kendrick Lamar, Snoop, Dr. Dre, and then Eminem. Is it? Well, that's what the odds are right now. Of course, who knows what's actually going to happen?
All right. But that's not. It's Dr. Dre's Super Bowl. Dr. Dre's going to start, and Dr. Dre's going to finish, and he's never going to leave the stage.
I kind of think the same thing as you. I think the same thing as you. Hey, are you excited about this? By the way,
a lot of them. Yeah, I'm interested to see it. Yeah, I'm super interested to see it.
I am too. Hey, go ahead with what you were talking about.
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, we've seen these Super Bowls where you have multiple, performers coming out, but there's one headliner. And the headliner's on the stage from start to finish. And everybody else just comes in and, does a duet with them. Like, they carry off of them.
Yeah.
If they think this is going to be equal billing, I think they're mistaken. I think they're greatly mistaken.
Yeah, I think you're probably right.
I can be wrong on all this stuff. All right, but
we have been wrong before, and we will be wrong again, my friend. Let me go ahead and do this rundown right quick. So the podcast, of course, make sure that you are subscribed wherever you can subscribe. The website is very easy to find, winningcureseverything.com. But yes, on the podcast, leave a nice 5-star review. You can do it at Spotify now. You can also do it at Apple Podcasts. And I think there's several. I think Amazon Music is letting you do it too. Who knows? But you can review us basically anywhere and everywhere. Also, if you're watching the show on YouTube, do us a favor over there. Hit the like button. Make sure that you are subscribed. And you can hit that notification bell. It's going to let you know when we go live and when we post new stuff, etc. So go ahead and check that out. The show brought to you by BetUS. Of course, it is America's premier online sportsbook. You can find it in your browser, betus.com. Very easy to find. The mobile site is awesome. It's incredible. It's just a really good sportsbook. They got a ton of great deals, a bunch of good bonuses and whatnot for the Super Bowl and for college basketball, everything else. I am doing daily college basketball picks. Videos go up on YouTube and on Twitter every day. We don't put it in the podcast feed, so if you want to see it, you got to go and subscribe on YouTube or just follow me on Twitter. So you can follow me at GaryWCE. You can follow Chris at Chris B. Giannini. And, of course, go ahead and check out BetUSTV.com. I am hosting multiple how-to segments along with some other stuff over there, so go ahead and check it out over at BetUSTV.com. All right, let's get into Auburn again because it still has not sorted itself out. Chris, before I dive into what has gone on, what are your thoughts at the moment on what is going on with Brian Harsin and Auburn University?
I thought the idea that Auburn would basically change their compliance, I guess, rules or standards like yesterday.
Yeah. Oh, that's what I was going to bring up. Is they
to bring him home and or give them calls for if he chooses to not come home. I guess termination with calls. I think that's really shitty. And I actually think there's no way on earth that would hold up in court.
Oh, absolutely.
And I think he would win. Yeah. I think he would win that battle. And it's the same. It's the same reason. So many other things that got implemented like over the last couple of years. A lot of companies tried to implement rules with people. If you've got everyday workers that work for you and they're just hourly workers or even salary workers, it's fine. But if they have any type of contract whatsoever, you can't just add in. This is that. So what I thought, and I'm still curious to see how this plays out. Oh shit, what's his name? Oh, my boy Rolo, up in Washington State.
Yeah, Nick Rolovich.
Like they implemented in the middle of his contract a new policy that he did not want to adhere to, and then they fired him for cause. I think when the lawyers are all done, they're going to owe him for his whole contract, because I think we're going to find that you cannot implement something new. You can't alter the terms of the contract without both parties consenting to those new terms, and then fire somebody for the new terms, like if the other party didn't consent to it. So I think this is going to be very similar.
Well, let me go ahead and tell everybody exactly what is going on here. This is an ESPN article, so they do a very good job of summarizing it. But it says, amid an investigation into football coach Bryan Harsin, Auburn University has implemented a new policy stating that employees can be fired for not cooperating with an investigation or review. The new policy, which went into effect on Tuesday, states that violations may result in disciplinary action up to and including termination. It was titled the Employee Duty to Cooperate Policy. It goes through, the policy states in part, employees have a duty to cooperate fully and truthfully with investigations, inquiries, and reviews relating to their university responsibilities and professional obligations. For example, employees must do the following: cooperate in sharing requested information and participating in interviews, produce all requested university documentation within their custody or command, disclose additional information relevant to the investigation or review, and maintain confidentiality as advised. So, all of this just went into effect on Tuesday afternoon, which is absolutely absurd because he was coming back from Mexico on Wednesday, right? I find it incredibly entertaining that in 2017, when all of this FBI stuff was going on, Bruce Pearl got independent counsel and absolutely refused, told Auburn absolutely not. He would not cooperate with Auburn's own investigation into what was going on with Chuck Person and everything else inside that basketball program. And Bruce Pearl just signed this massive new fat contract, right? I mean, he's done a fantastic job with that basketball program. Auburn did what they were supposed to do by just leaving it alone, much the same way LSU has done with Will Wade, right? Now, all of this is going on, and of course, I want to bring this up because this has been shared around quite a bit, and I have talked about Harsin at Boise, etc., multiple times, but apparently, Harsin went to Boise from Arkansas State. There's an article over at SI.com. It's the All Hogs Fan Nation site, and the name of the article is "Few in Jonesboro Surprised Harsin May Get Fired at Auburn." And I couldn't believe this was put out there. Andy Hodges is the guy that wrote this up. It says, Harsin was going to be fired, the source told him. I was standing right there when Terry told him after he had to go get him for a press conference. So what happened here? At the end of a tumultuous season, Harsin blew off a press conference after he had ditched a post-game radio appearance, and Mohajir had to go get him at his house. So that's the Arkansas State athletic director that is now the UCF AD. They said it was not a pleasant conversation, according to folks who were there. ASU avoided the whole firing issue when Boise State picked Harsin, who had been Peterson's offensive coordinator before going to Jonesboro. It says, all this makes you wonder exactly who did the vetting for Auburn when they were looking for somebody to take over for Malzahn. They ended up picking Harsin. Now, all of that, we've talked about Harsin already quite a bit, but it is still comical to me that these guys are digging through anything that they possibly can to get rid of a guy that they just don't like. It is incredibly evident that Bryan Harsin is not exactly a people person, right? He is not somebody that's going to cozy up with the boosters down there. And instead of just rolling along with it to see how this thing goes, they want to get somebody in there that's going to do what they tell them to do. And it's unbelievable. Now, I don't know that the Harsin thing is going to work because you have to glad hand. You have to go out to the golf outings. You have to go do all of this to be an SEC coach, right? That's just part of the game. and he's never really had to deal with it. So it's very interesting to me that this continues on, and we have already seen with Kansas, with UConn basketball, when you try and dig up dirt on NCAA violations to get rid of a coach for cause, we haven't seen it with Tennessee yet. But I would imagine once this thing goes to court, you're going to have to pay that full buyout. I don't know why you wouldn't go ahead and do it. Like, if you just don't like the guy, why on earth do you continue to drag him through this crap? Like, it's so annoying. What are your thoughts on this? I mean, have you changed at all since we talked on Tuesday morning? Like, do you think that he's still going to be the coach next year?
I mean, I have no idea. I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I know there are some people out there that don't want him as the coach. I also know that there are some people that are fine with letting him play this thing out, and they don't like what is happening at all with the other with the tactics that were taken to try to get rid of him. So
they have tried all kinds of stuff, all these message board things going on. It is really quite sickening, right? Because we went from the affair to not getting along with assistants, etc., to the players don't like him. He's too hard on the players. There might be something going on there. To on Wednesday, there were all sorts of things that started to circulate about how he was racist. I mean, they're trying to find anything that might be able to stick, and it's disgusting. Like, we all know how everything is made in the SEC, right? We know how these things go, but it's still just incredibly frustrating to see it, right? I get so irritated at this. I would like to see him stick around just to see what happens, right? Because I don't know how you can win knowing that the entire deck is stacked against you. Like, I have no idea how that's even possible, and yet, here we are. We'll see. I mean, this whole thing is so bananas, man. It's just so nuts. And here we are, 2 weeks into this, like trying to figure out exactly what's going to happen since Austin Davis decided to resign. So let's talk about this. Harsin did show up at the SEC coaches meetings in Birmingham, and I don't know if you saw the videos or not. First off, the Harsin videos are just so weird. Why are we following this guy around with a bunch of cameras? Like, what are we doing? But second, did you see Kirby Smart and Jimbo Fisher show up one right after the other and get dropped off at the front door of where the meetings were being held?
Yeah, I saw that. I mean, okay.
So I want to talk.
I didn't pick up anything interesting in that.
But the only thing that I picked up was Kirby Smart got dropped off in a minivan, right? And Jimbo, now Kirby, of course, gets out of the minivan, walks in, he waves at a couple of the guys like he knows some of the reporters, and just walks right on in like it's no big deal. Jimbo Fisher gets out of an Audi SUV and pretends to be on a phone call. He's wearing his sunglasses, doesn't talk to anybody going in. I had to laugh at the difference, right? Between the guy that just won a national championship and the guy that just had the #1 recruiting class. Like, it absolutely crap. If you were going to be dropped off for SEC coaches meetings, like say you're the coach at Vanderbilt or whatever, how do you get dropped off?
I don't care. I literally do not care. I put zero thought into how I'm going to get dropped off. I think this is the dumbest thing.
That's the Kirby Smart thing.
Time on.
That's the Kirby Smart thing. I think.
But hang on now. Hang on. Whoa. You say that's the Kirby Smart thing. You think Jimbo had put any thought into it? Like, all right, so he's got a rich guy that picked him up. I don't think he gives a shit if it's an Audi or not.
Maybe you're right.
I don't think he cares. They just got somebody to pick him up. He just got richer friends. That's all that is.
That you might be onto something there. You might be onto something.
And like pretending to be on the phone, like, does that make somebody a dick? Does that make somebody a bat? Like, whatever, dude. He doesn't want to talk.
Oh no! I use that all the time,
and they don't know him. So why does that matter? What are we talking about this for? How is this new? You say there is no off season, and then this is what we talk about.
That's true. You have a valid point here.
So,
you have a very valid point.
There's no off season. There is an off season. News happens in the off season, but it's still an off season. Okay.
Valid point. Valid point.
There are no games.
There are no games. There are no games. Do you remember Warrick Dunn?
Yes. Play for Tampa Bay.
That's right. Was a running back at Florida State. He was at Tampa Bay and the Falcons from 1997 through 2008. So Warrick Dunn was he was mailed, like snail mail. He was mailed a trading card. It was a 2001 Upper Deck trading card that this man, Eric Emanuel, mailed to Warrick Dunn 21 years ago, and Warrick Dunn just mailed it back like yesterday or 2 days ago on February 8th is when he got the card back. And Warrick Dunn responded, and he actually signed it, said, "Thanks for your unwavering support of my football career. My apologies if this response has not reached you in a timely manner. It is a great pleasure to autograph the enclosed memorabilia." And then he mailed it back to the guy from 2001. Is there anything that you would do 21 years later? Like, I think I probably would have tossed the card in the trash. Like, how do you even know if this guy's still living there?
Well, how do you know if the guy's still alive?
Right. Like, this is absolutely insane. This guy has lived at this same place for 21 years and got the card back. So he tweeted about it. He said, "Hey, Warrick Dunn, thanks for the awesome and unexpected surprise. When I was young, I collected football cards from players around the NFL, and as a hobby, mailed them out to the teams to see what players would sign and send it back." He said that was 21 years ago. I can't even imagine. I mean, there's nothing that I would have thrown out everything.
Did Warrick Dunn just find it? Like, I wonder if this is a thing where he used to get a bunch of shit, and so he just threw it all, like, it went in a box that went into a closet and never got seen again, and then he just found it.
I mean, it had to be. He had to have gone through, like, some storage stuff, or he was selling, like, an old property or something. I can't imagine. Like, this can't be the only one.
You don't just not, do something for 21 years and then decide I'm going to do this now.
Yeah, and I can't imagine this is the only one, right? Like, there had to be multiple.
I don't know what you mean by that.
Like, I'm saying this couldn't be like I don't think he just found a single card and signed it and then sent it back to this one guy. Like, I would imagine he would have gotten a ton of these back then. And maybe I'm crazy. I don't know. It just seems
I don't know. I never thought of the idea of, hey, I wouldn't even know where to begin to find, like, a professional athlete's address to send him something.
I wonder, he had to have sent it to the NFL, like, organization, right? And then whatever stuff was his was just tossed into mail, and I bet he just has a whole stack of it. Like, that's got to be it. I don't know. It was a crazy story, and I was just kind of interested in, my God, like, if somebody had mailed me something 21 years ago looking for a response, I don't know that I would have taken the time to actually do it. I thought it was kind of cool. We'll close out with two kind of weird news of the week stories, and I think you're going to like these. And you may have already heard a couple of these, but we'll start off with this. You know the trucker protest that's going on in Canada right now?
Yep.
There was a man who decided he wanted to unite with the truckers. He's in the United States, and he wanted to try and get the police off of the truckers. Apparently, the police are going out and taking fuel away from the truckers, like trying to get them off the interstate. Who knows? I'm not paying a whole lot of attention to it, but apparently this guy decided that the best way to do that would be to call in a bomb threat to the Ottawa police. But this guy Googled the wrong Ottawa police. He called in a bomb threat to Ottawa, Ohio. Now, he called them twice. The first time was a bomb threat. The second time, he was calling to tell them he had been shot and was trying to give them an address to go to in Ottawa, Canada. Could you ever imagine devising a scheme and not going through all of the information to, like, actually get this thing done? Like, don't we
Gary,
understand?
You're working under the premise that this guy devised anything or came up with anything. There's zero doubt that this person was under some type of influence of narcotics.
Oh, had to be.
This is not a sane person. So the fact that he didn't research into it deeply, it
was a 20-year-old from Akron, Ohio, that called the sheriff's office twice on Monday. It said the first time he made a bomb threat, second call he had been shot. That's when the man found out he was talking to somebody in his home state. Like, you live in Akron, and this is inside of that state, and it's a United States phone number. Like, what are we doing? It's 20 years old, man.
Well, when you're jacked up, you're not thinking of any of those things.
I suppose
you're
not.
not putting any of that puzzle together.
This stuff absolutely cracks me up. All right, last one that I wanted to hit on for you. Have you seen about the zoo over in England?
No.
Okay. So, let me give you the full rundown. I want to try and get the story right. A British zoo aiming to bolster its population of endangered monkeys hired a Marvin Gaye impersonator to visit the enclosure and croon love songs to them. The Trentham Monkey Forest in Stafford, England, said David Largy, an experienced Marvin Gaye impersonator, performed selections from the Soul Legends catalog, including Let's Get It On and Sexual Healing, inside the Barbary macaque habitat. I have never... First off, have you ever seen a Marvin Gaye impersonator?
Well, no. I have not.
This park director, Matt Lovat, said, "We thought it would be a creative way to encourage our females to show a little affection to males that might not have been so lucky in love." He said, "Females in season mate with several males, so paternity among our furry residents is never known. Each birth is vital to the species, with this class being endangered." So they hired this guy, and he goes out and sings, like, for a long time, apparently. I mean, the video on this thing was, at least 30-something minutes of him just standing out in the woods singing to monkeys that aren't even paying attention to him. I cannot imagine who came up with this idea, but I think that we should implement it in every zoo across the country. I think that's what we need to do. I had never heard of Marvin Gaye impersonators. I know Elvis impersonators, and we got like Jerry Lee Lewis impersonators.
Well, I'm certain there's impersonators for everyone who's ever been famous to some level.
I know there was Nick Rolovich had the Britney Spears impersonator at the Mountain West Conference, right? Our Mountain West Conference, whatever the meetings were way back when, the media day. That's it. So I know that there's like Britney Spears ones and Rod Stewart and et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, Marvin Gaye over in England, kind of surprised. What are your thoughts on hiring impersonators to come out and get the monkeys in the mood?
I find it very strange that we assume that they understand the words that he's singing. like, what if the guy spoke Spanish and sang a song in Spanish that was a love song? Do you think that would help? And do you think the monkeys know the difference between the English version and the Spanish version?
I would imagine not.
Or are we just a different set of animals making a noise at them?
I'm going to go with that one. I think we're just a different species of animal that is making a noise. I don't know why you wouldn't just play the CD. Like, why is this British zoo?
Listen now, listen, anybody who you of all people should appreciate live music, live entertainment.
Well, of course, but all they did was
you're at a zoo. You're not watching a documentary. You came to the zoo. You can see these monkeys on the internet.
Well, but all it is, it's a guy that stands out there with a boombox and just sings into.
All they are animals just sitting in cages. But we still pay, $17 a head to go see them.
That's true. He said,
when you could see it on the internet or on TV.
They said, let's get it on and sexual healing inside of the habitat. Like, I mean, this stuff is so ridiculous.
This is all going to come out that this is all just some Valentine's ruse. This dude got in trouble with his wife, and he's using zoo funds to try to like have a date with her in the monkey exhibit. And he, he's using Marvin Gaye. He's going to get this guy to serenade her while they're hanging out there. We're gonna find out there's more to this story.
Oh, this is
not just nobody thought this was a good idea. Somebody looked at the budget and said, "We got a couple $100 I can set on fire." The old lady's mad at me right now. Let me see if I can take her on a nice little date. And I'm just going to spin this as we're just going to try to help these animals breed.
That's a good idea.
That's what I would do, by the way. I would hire, an Elvis impersonator to meet me at my favorite part of the zoo if my wife was really pissed off at me. And be like, look,
good idea.
I'm trying to help the animals. This is a tax write-off.
This is
donating money to the cause here, guys. This isn't me trying to get myself out of trouble. No,
I'm helping the endangered monkeys. That's what I'm doing.
That's right.
I'm helping the Trentham monkey forest.
This is embezzling funds for your own personal gain to try to get yourself out of trouble, or just to try to get yourself laid. I mean, it might not even be somebody's just trying to impress.
It's entirely possible. This guy is sitting out there. He's in a full suit, and he is standing in the middle of like this. It's a forest, but it's just flat land with all these monkeys around him, and they're not even paying attention to him. Like, they'll look over every now and then, but I could not imagine. I mean, it's just in the middle of the day. It's
you better be glad they didn't see him as a threat.
Exactly.
I mean, listen, the pole assassin's monkey would have ripped his lungs out.
Right. I mean, this guy. Oh my God! I don't even know. It is comical.
Listen, we got a Marvin Gaye impersonator. We get the pole assassin out there. Listen, you got love just written all over the place.
He's out there dancing. He's getting into it.
Anybody who says you can't buy love, money ain't bought love, ain't never been to Reno, baby. I'll tell you that right now.
Oh God, I love it. I love it. All right. Is there anything else that we need to hit on? Do we need to talk about how long the national anthem is going to be or anything like that?
No, I will tell you that I will be playing, and this is I mean, nobody has like the patent on this. Everybody in the world will be betting all of the prop overs for the Super Bowl because it's what fans want to do.
Oh, okay?
Yeah. And so if there's, and I encourage you to do this for players you don't like, okay? All the unders will have value. Doesn't mean they're all going to hit. They're all going to have value, all right? And so therefore, like, I am not a Cooper Kupp fan, and I don't like the Rams and don't want them to win. And so I will be playing a lot of the unders on those guys, like yards and catches and things like that, simply because that's where the value is going to be, because the public and their fans are all going to be juicing them up to the over.
That makes sense. So right before kickoff, really, maybe in the 30 minutes or so.
Pretty close to kickoff, I think, is the best time to do that. And like I said, if you bet them all across the board, you're going to lose. Like somebody's going to bust something. But if you're betting against the team, then start picking the opposite team, that team's players, and take a couple of unders or whatever.
Yeah. No, you're not wrong about that. Just announced, by the way, just broke as we're recording this. SEC announces each league member received $54.6 million. That excludes bowl expenses retained by participants for the 2020-2021 fiscal year, which ended August 31st.
So it doesn't count the bowl money?
Yeah, doesn't count the bowl money right now. Overall league had $777.8 million of total revenue. Last year, they averaged $45.5 million in distribution. So it's gone up.
I know we had 13 teams make a bowl game. How many teams actually went to a bowl game?
Well, this is for last year, right? So this is 2020. This is in the middle of the COVID season.
2020. Okay. Oh wow. Oh shit. That's what we made during COVID.
Yeah.
Hang on. Why does it take that damn long? Oh, I guess it's tax.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it
Why
just
does it
takes...
take so long to find out what they made? That was a year ago.
Schools also received during that year $23 million apiece to help mitigate the financial impact of the COVID-19 pandemic.
Listen, we should be able to do the math on this stuff a lot sooner than that. Like, come March, we should know what we made this past year. Each team made. They might not get it officially until next year, but we should, however the contracts are written. But we should have the math done by then. Math isn't that fucking hard.
It shouldn't be. $77.6 million per school is what each school got. But this, don't forget, the fiscal year ends August 31st, 2021. So right before the football season kicks off.
Yeah. Because my argument for, I mean, but even then, still, I'm just trying to figure out for bowl money what each team made. Because we got 13 teams make the bowl game, which never happened before ever. And I think, is A&M the only one that didn't play?
Yeah, A&M's the only one that didn't play. I mean,
so we got 12
Vanderbilt.
bowl games, and the championship game was a bonus for 2 teams. So we basically had, because of the playoffs, 2 extra bowl games.
Yeah, played in 14 bowl games. That's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, yeah, that's
or no,
no.
I guess that'd be 13.
It'd be 14 because Alabama gets to share the national championship.
That's right, and Georgia does.
Georgia gets to share the national championship, so you count the national championship twice.
That's right.
14.
That's right. How interesting is that?
That's insane, and that's with Texas A&M backing out, bail it out. We could have gotten 15. Damn, Vanderbilt.
Oh my God, that's insane. Good gracious. Florida State football players can be paid for jersey sales. That's interesting. So
that's good. LSU's done that already.
That's There's not a ton going on right before the Super Bowl other than this Auburn stuff and.
So I've got a question, a logistics question that you may know about or you might not. When is Oklahoma and Texas coming? Are we going to have another year of them being in the Big 12?
Yes.
Or are they coming this year?
I think they are coming right after the 2023 season because that is when the new TV contract would start for the SEC. Because
they're not coming before the TV contract.
No, I don't think it's worth it to them because there's no reason for Oklahoma and Texas to come over until the CBS stuff is done, right?
But I was under the impression that ESPN was going to buy them out early.
Yeah, but they're not going to buy them out until after this coming season.
Okay. So, all right, they're going to buy them out after this coming season, which means they can come after this season?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. So this is 2022.
After the 2023.
No, I meant for the 2023 season, right? After 2022.
Right,
so after this year.
You said after, and I was like, wait a minute, we're going to wait. We're going to do 2 more years of this bullshit?
Nope, just this one.
Like we're like this is them in the Big 12. We're married, but I'm not leaving. Like I'm just gonna live here another year. Like, no, you get your shit and get out.
We got to get this.
I don't care if I was the Big 12, I'd force them out. I'd take the damn money and I'd say, no, you don't get to wait. Okay, you don't get to wait until they're ready. All right, if you're leaving me for that other bitch, then go move in with that bitch. And if she ain't ready for you to move in, then your ass can be independent for 2 years. Okay, you can go get your own damn apartment.
Well, but here's the thing: I don't think Cincinnati and all of them are coming over until after this next year, anyway.
I don't care. So, I'd take an 18 schedule. Fuck them.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from. All the contract stuff plays out.
Who's going to play them? Putting together a schedule last minute like that. Who's going to play them? They're going to line their schedule with a bunch of Conference USA teams, Mountain West teams, and things like that, and they ain't got no chance of doing anything special.
Oh yeah,
because everybody's going to look at them the same way they looked at UCF all them years and Boise all them years. Is look at that schedule. You don't belong. That's exactly what I'd do to them. I'd throw their ass out and play an 18 schedule.
Did you see the Ole Miss co-defensive coordinator and outside linebackers coach Chris Kiffin is returning to the Browns next year?
No, I didn't see that.
So he got hired away from the Browns. He was the defensive line coach, and basically he told Bruce Feld. Well, he didn't tell Bruce Feld. He told other people that he took the job last month realized that he didn't want to be coaching in college again, and now the Browns gave him his job back. I think we're going to see this a lot. Like
we're going to see guys go to college, and then they're going to realize, oh, this team sucks.
Yeah, like this recruiting stuff is bonkers.
18-year-olds, like when I call my guys and say, hey, where you at? Guess what? Their ass is running into the building as a grown man because they have a contract. And if they're late for the meeting, they start getting hit in the pocket.
Yes.
Okay? These college kids, if they show up late, you ain't doing shit to them because they'll just transfer. They don't give a damn.
Yeah, you got that right. You got that right.
Ain't no way on earth I'd take one of these college jobs. Ain't no way if I could get an NFL job.
Yeah.
Anybody who thinks the college football job is better than the NFL, you're just blinded by your passion and love for this sport, and that's fine. But you're wrong. You just have to understand you're wrong.
Especially right now, it's all crazy. There are no rules in college football right now.
It's never changing, Gary. It's not going backwards.
I think you're probably right.
But you think all of a sudden now that they've got to live without these rules, we're going to find a way to put rules on them? Oh, hell no. Hell no. You see Lincoln Riley say, I didn't take anybody from Oklahoma. I took kids from the transfer portal.
He is.
Well, that guy's a piece of shit. Listen, hang on. The whole damn country knows Lincoln Riley is an asshole and Aaron Rodgers is an asshole. I've had stock in those two being the sons of bitches for a decade. I want everybody to say, you're right, Chris.
I really did. As soon as I saw that on Colin Cowherd and heard what he was talking about, my first thought was, oh, Chris is dead on about this guy.
This guy's a piece of shit. He is an arrogant, cocky piece of shit.
Why would you even comment on it, right?
Because that's what assholes do, Gary. That's what assholes do.
It's unbelievable.
He thinks he's better than you. Look at him.
Yeah, especially out there.
$6 million a year. In L.A., that's pump change, Bubba. There's a guy that pumps gas in L.A. that makes more than you.
It's insane. It's so insane.
Go out there with a hot wife. She'll be gone in 5 minutes, Lincoln.
Yeah, I think you're probably right about that. You're probably right about that. Did you see the new Jurassic World trailer came out?
So I haven't seen the trailer, but I saw a couple weeks ago where I saw the date that it was coming out. I remember we went and saw the last one.
Oh yeah, no, it's out now. The trailer is out on YouTube. It comes out in May, I think, May or early June, whatever it is. I'm stoked. Know. I am a nerd for
we're
gonna
go and I'm gonna fight some parents. We went to the midnight. Just so everybody knows this story. We went to the midnight showing of this damn movie, okay, on opening night, all right, at the IMAX. And we got a row in front of us and all next to us of mamas and daddies who brought their kids in their damn pajamas, like little babies that they're holding to see this movie. And I thought, well, I'm about to whoop one of these folks' ass. There's no doubt about this.
I couldn't believe, for a midnight show.
Terrible parents, man. Terrible parents.
Just the movie was like 3 hours long.
You can do anything you want. You can raise your kids any way you want them. I come to a midnight showing of a grown-up movie because I don't want to be around your damn kids, okay? All right? If your kid gets in my way while I'm at Disney World, that's fine. You'll never hear me bitch about it because that's a place for kids.
Yes.
Midnight showing of Jurassic World at an IMAX theater. We pay $20-some bucks a ticket. I don't want to watch it with your 4-year-old. All right?
No chance. That
movie, if you're not going to discipline that 4-year-old, I'm disciplining you. I can't hit your kid, but I'll damn sure hit you in front of your kid.
I got tickets for the Batman at IMAX 4 days. So they're doing a fan whatever thing. I had no idea I was even on the Batman waiting list or newsletter or whatever. But those are the three things that I'm a nerd about, right? Is Batman, MCU, and Jurassic World. Those are my three things. Well, and football numbers. But
my boy Fletcher is the biggest Batman guy I know, but that's something he does without me. I know that he's already got somebody else that he's taking to that.
There you go. So
don't ask him who took him to the Orpheum all them times.
No, I wasn't even gonna get into that on the show. We never brought that stuff up.
But I'm not gonna get invited to go see the Batman with him. No, I gotta wait like everybody else.
My God! All right,
I'm not bitter about it though. You can tell.
No, I can tell. I can tell for sure. All right, you want to go on and get out of here?
Yeah, let's go.
Let's do it. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
No.
I think we done hit on everything today.
I got all kinds of things to talk about, but we're okay. Let's go.
Let's wait until Tuesday. We can talk about what happened in the Super Bowl, what happened with Eminem, all that good stuff. So, all right, let me go and let you go, and then I'll wrap this show up.
See you
later, buddy. All right, that was Chris. He's out of here. Let me go ahead and wrap up the show. You guys have been fantastic. Do me a favor. Go to winningcureseverything.com. You can find all of our videos, all of our podcasts, etc. over there. Everybody that you need to follow or subscribe is right there. winningcureseverything.com. Along with that, if you haven't already, subscribe to the podcast for us, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, etc. Leave a nice 5-star review, a written review. We want to read the reviews. Help us out. Go ahead and knock that thing out. If you haven't already, subscribe to the YouTube. We are over 5,550 subscribers. And also, you can get my daily college basketball picks over there. I know we've only got like a month and a half of the season, or I guess a month of the season left, but I'm putting them out every day. So I bet on the sport every day. So I decided to just do a quick 2-minute video. So go ahead and check them out over there if you would. Like the videos for us and share them out. Tell your friends. Hit the subscribe button as well. Go on and do that. The show is brought to you by BetUS. It's where the game begins. It's America's premier online sportsbook. Tons of great bonuses, tons of great deals. There's a link in the description, or you can just go to your browser, type in betus.com, and you can always watch me over at betustv.com. That's the easiest way to do it. All right, you guys have been fantastic. Let me go on and get you out of here. We appreciate you spending part of your Friday with us. We will be back next Tuesday to break down what happened in the final organized football game of the year, at least before we get to the USFL or whatever the next spring football league will be. But yes, let's go ahead and wrap this thing up. You guys take care of yourself, take care of each other, and hopefully all of your tickets cash this weekend. Thanks for checking out Winning Cures Everything. If you want to keep up with us, hit subscribe on YouTube or your favorite podcast app. Visit the website at winningcureseverything.com, or you can like us on Facebook or follow us at Winning Cures, at Gary WCE, or at Chris B. Giannini on Twitter. Share out the show, leave a nice review.